Hello, my loves, and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to share with you today a piece of my story that I have not opened up about here on this channel yet, and that is my journey of being a lineman wife. You might be asking yourself, what is she talking about? What is a lineman? And I'll be honest, 8 years ago when I met my husband and went on a date with him for the first time, I had no clue what a lineman was. Before I met him, I didn't even know that the profession existed. And yet this profession, this lifestyle, defines and has defined so much of my experience as a wife, as a mother, as a homemaker, as a person. So a lineman is an electrical worker. You might see these people in bucket trucks along the road working on the tall power lines and electrical poles. When you lose your power and it suddenly turns back on, that is the work of linemen. The people that go out when weather is at its worst, when there's been destruction from motor vehicle accidents, from natural disasters and bad weather. It is people like my husband that are the ones up day and night putting power back on so that we can live the life that we know, so that we can have the comfort of heat and electricity and internet and television, all of the things that I know that we all take for granted, myself included. So like I said, 8 years ago when I got together with my husband, I was very naive. I had no clue what I was getting into. And quite frankly, I didn't really care. I cared that I loved my husband. I cared that I saw a future with him. I could see myself building a family with him. And yet, what that has actually entailed and looks like on a day-to-day basis is something that I was not prepared for. The sacrifices that I was going to make and needed to make in order to not only be with my husband, but for us to thrive as a couple, for our marriage to survive. And I will be honest that a lot of the struggle that my husband and I have faced has been the result of the conflict and the tension that has arisen from the demand of this lifestyle. Before I go any further, I want to make it clear that everything that I am sharing here is my experience. It is my point of view. It is subjective to me. My goal in sharing and opening up about this part of my life is in hopes that it will spread awareness of the thousands of workers out there, especially in times like these when we are on the heels of hurricane season and so much destruction, that it is the sacrifice of actual people that allows us to keep going, that allows us to recover and to reestablish our normal, everyday comfort and way of life. The other hope that I have is that there might be someone out there that is the younger version of me that is perhaps entering a relationship or is early on in the relationship with a lineman and is feeling alone, is feeling misunderstood, is feeling like there's no one out there that gets it. And I want you to know that you are not alone. I hope that in opening up and sharing about my story and how this lifestyle has impacted our family for the good and in negative ways, that it will help prepare you of the sacrifices that this lifestyle may entail for you and discern for yourself whether or not you are prepared to make those sacrifices and perhaps make changes and have conversations that will only prepare you and your spouse for the better. The biggest thing that I feel like this lifestyle demands of the wife and the spouse of a lineman is the utter acceptance, a life of uncertainty, a life of never knowing when your husband may or may not leave or come home. No guarantees of his presence for holidays and birthdays and special anniversaries. It's the acceptance that you are going to need to be the primary parent. You're going to need to be the steadfast partner. The partner that your kids lean on, that they can count on, because their father is not going to be able to be that person. Because there are going to be times when he is gone working hard for your family, and you are going to be carrying both roles of wife and mother and man of the house. I think of all the things, that is the one that is the hardest for me to bear. It's the one that has impacted me, my health, my journey into motherhood, my career, has been the acceptance of that role, the acceptance that I am the steadfast, I am the primary parent. My relationship with my husband is one of the biggest reasons and drivers for my journey, for me to find a way to come home, to work from home, to be at home full time. Early on in our relationship, it was already becoming so apparent. The question was arising of when and how are we going to bring children into this lifestyle? How am I going to work the way that I am out of the home and be able to be there for my kids when you are gone? And so from the very beginning of our relationship, of our marriage, it became apparent and it became a huge focus of mine, a goal, a mission of mine, to find a way of living that allowed me to work and be at home. I'd be lying if I said that it still isn't a stressor of mine to this day. Facing my own insecurities and my own beliefs around money and finances and marriage, and sacrificing those beliefs for new ones, because my old self and her beliefs around what it means to be a wife and my belief around safety with money and roles in a marriage did not fit with the marriage that I needed to create in order for us to be happy, in order for myself to be happy and content in my role as a wife and a mother. I had to put my own pride aside and be willing to lean on my husband, to be willing to be provided for, to put my own beliefs around scarcity and fear of abandonment and betrayal, my fear of being weak and dependent aside, and to really get very honest with myself and my husband about what I really want and what I was really capable of doing, because I can't do it all. And there were so many years of our marriage that I tried desperately to, when on the inside and truly within the walls of our home, I was struggling. I was struggling to carry the load of it all, to be everything to everyone. That was the turning point for me, the breaking point for me in our marriage, and what led me to rediscovering my own sovereignty, to really getting clear on who I am and what I want and what I believe, and letting go of the things that were no longer serving me and my family so that I could be more available for my family, so that I could feel more content and willing and fulfilled in my divine role of being a mom, of being a supportive partner. For a long time, I resented all that I had to sacrifice, all that I did. And I realized that I was killing the thing that I had fought so hard for. And that all started with entering into this lineman life, and really not understanding what it was actually going to entail, and preparing myself for it, preparing us for it. The other thing that I find so hard with this lifestyle is that it can be really lonely. A neighbor of mine is actually married to a lineman, and I know a few line wives around here, but it can feel really hard when no one quite understands your lifestyle, when no one quite understands why your husband is gone or never present, why he misses so many things, why he's never around to help you with the children. And yet, literally, having your spouse be gone for days on end, for weeks on end, not coming home at night, not having that adult present, that support from your spouse at the end of a long day, it can feel really exhausting. It can be so hard. And that's one of the reasons why I'm so outspoken about creating a circle of support, whether that's parents or friends, neighbors, other lineman wives, people that are in your corner and there to support you. Getting yourself a babysitter that you can call on, so when your husband has been gone for days on end, that you can get that space, that break, that ability to go to your doctor's appointments or to do something for yourself that relieves that responsibility from you, if only for a few hours. It's one of the reasons why we choose to live where we do and chose to stay near family, because I knew deep down that I was going to need to be near my parents. I was going to need to be near my in-laws when we had children. There are so many layers to lineman life that impact the decisions that my husband and I have made. There are also so many blessings. Every day I feel so immensely grateful that my husband has a stable job, that we have a beautiful home and beautiful property for my kids to grow up on, that we have the opportunity to be able to live where we wish, to live in a place that we dreamed of. But I can never deny, and I will never deny, that there are moments and times that I would give it all up if it meant that I could have my husband home more. The biggest lesson that this lifestyle reminds me of every single day is that nothing replaces love. Nothing replaces the presence of the people that you care about the most. All the money in the world can never replace my husband. It cannot replace his role and his comfort and his love. I'm so incredibly proud of him and what he does. And even now, he is not home. He is away on storm, working on little sleep and with little comfort. And I know he's doing it for us. And I know he's so proud of what he does. And that just fills me with so much pride. And that is what motivates me and fuels me on the hard days. It motivates me in my role to continue to be the best that I can be and take care of myself, because if I'm not taking care of myself, then I can't care for my children and my husband. I can't be the wife and the mother that I truly wish to be. So my loves, I hope that sharing a bit about my story as a lineman wife maybe shed some light on things that I have struggled with and things that I have talked about here already on my channel. Why I'm so passionate about living intentionally, about living sustainably and within your means, and taking pride in your home and your role as a wife and a mother and a homemaker, because you matter. What you do matters. Who you are matters, and no one and nothing can replace you. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're new, I would love to have you hit that subscribe button. You guys have no idea how much this blesses our family and helps support this channel. And until next time, bye.